Cali to Chi-Town, it's Bears on the flight. Let me go tune in to Keek on the mic. He gon' make sure we get our news and highlights. When you get on YouTube, you better hit the likes.
Hey, what's going on, Bears fans? Thank you so much for joining me for another episode of Keek on the Mic, the podcast all about the Chicago Bears. As always, if you're new to the channel, make sure you hit that subscribe button and the notification to catch all Bears content right here on the podcast. Bears fans, the preseason is officially over. That means that we're finally on the countdown towards week 1 when the Chicago Bears take on the Tennessee Titans at Soldier Field on September 8th, and I am super pumped. Let's give a huge congratulations to the Chicago Bears going 4-0 in the preseason. That means we can call ourselves preseason champs. And Bears fans, once again, you guys already know the tradition here on Keek on the Mic that I'm starting after every single Bears win. Make sure you tune in to Keek on the Mic. Comment down below in the comment section, claws up, and let's go ahead and put the sunglasses on and blast that claws up Chicago Bears anthem. Let's go, Bears fans.
Hey, yo, Ma, get to the bed.
Bears fans, throw your claws up. Midway monsters, yeah, we all up. Bear down, that's for all us. Let me see you do your thing, throw your claws up. Bears fans, throw your claws up. Midway monsters, yeah, we all up. Bear down, that's for all us. Let me see you do your thing, throw your claws up. NFC North, we the hardest in our section. When you hear that bear down, you better get the steppin'. Light it up with us, you gon' think we use them hit sticks. Feel like Jalen Johnson take this beat for a pick 6. Cali to Chi-Town, it's Bears on the flight. Let me go tune in to Keek on the mic. He gon' make sure we get our news and highlights. When you get on YouTube, you better hit the likes. Matt Forte, Walter Payton. They sweat me like I'm Tez, cause I'm all pro in the making. So tell me why they hating. We about to take over, they gon' feel what I'm saying. We really back and we ripped off the script. Feeling like Hester when I pop off these kicks. They just mad they ain't pop off like this. We are the Bears and you know what it is. Oh yeah, Bears fans, throw your claws up. Midway monsters, yeah, we all up. Bear down, that's for all us. Let me see you do your thing, throw your claws up. Bears fans, throw your claws up. Midway monsters, yeah, we all up. Bear down, that's for all us. Let me see you do your thing, throw your claws up.
Come on, Bears fans. You know that song gets you pumped up. I absolutely love the comments that I'm getting on the song. Everyone is feeling that claws up Chicago Bears anthem. That's going to be a tradition all season long. After every single Chicago Bears win, I am going to absolutely blast that Chicago Bears anthem. So, Bears fans, today on Keek on the Mic, we are going to be going over my 53-man roster, final predictions for the Chicago Bears. And this roster can be ever changing. There's still going to be cuts, waiver wires that the Chicago Bears can add other players from different NFL organizations. So this is going to be the initial roster, at least my prediction, but Ryan Poles is still going to be looking around the National Football League to try to create the best 53 prior to that week 1 matchup against the Tennessee Titans. But I'm going to go over my 53-man roster, my prediction of who I think is going to make this football team. Huge shout out to General Manager Ryan Poles. He did an excellent job at creating a whole bunch of competition along the roster. He made it very clear that was going to be really hard to make this football team this year. And I truly believe that. A lot of young guys really stepped up to the occasion, had really good camps, really good preseason, looked really good during these preseason games as well. So I'm really looking forward to see who actually makes this roster, and I'm pretty sure there's going to be a surprise cut here and there. So starting out, Bear fans, with the quarterback position, I think the Bears will keep 2 quarterbacks, obviously with Caleb Williams and Tyson Bagent. Bagent looked really good in the preseason. He definitely improved from his rookie year. He looks stronger. He could definitely see the field a lot better. He looks like the perfect backup quarterback for Caleb Williams. And what really stood out to me about Tyson Bagent is when you turn on Hard Knocks and Matt Eberflus, there's that scene where Matt Eberflus is talking through the defensive coverage with Tyson Bagent. that's when you start really realizing that, man, Tyson Bagent's that guy. He has the moxie, he has the confidence, he has the swagger. He will be the perfect backup to Caleb Williams. And the Bears here could possibly keep 3 quarterbacks if they wanted to. I think Austin Reed will not make the team. I think they will try their best to get him on the practice squad. Reed has also really looked well during these preseason games and during camp for the Chicago Bears. So hopefully no one snatches him up. I hope he can make the practice squad. But if the Chicago Bears wanted to keep a 3rd quarterback, I think Brett Rypien makes a lot of sense. He knows Shane Waldron's offense really well. That can be that veteran mentor, not only for Caleb Williams, but for Tyson Bagent as well. But in my prediction video today, I have the Bears keeping 2 quarterbacks with Caleb Williams and Tyson Bagent. Moving on to the running back room, I think the Bears will keep 6 running backs. There's going to be a loaded running back room for the Chicago Bears due to the fact that we're also thinking about special teams here as well. So, of course, you're keeping DeAndre Swift as the main running back for the Chicago Bears. Then you have Khalil Herbert that really solidified himself as the number 2 running back for this team. I know there's a lot of talk about maybe Roschon Johnson taking that number 2 spot. But I feel like Khalil Herbert looked excellent in camp. He looked excellent in preseason as well. And he really put that stamp on that running back 2 position for this Bears offense. Roschon Johnson is dealing with some undisclosed injury, but I still think he will make the team and be the running back 3. Obviously, Travis Homer, special teams guy. Velus Jones Jr. looked outstanding in his new role as a running back. You can put Velus Jones Jr. as a running back or as a wide receiver, but I feel like his position flexibility, how dynamic he looked at the running back position with the ball in his hands, I think Velus Jones Jr. will definitely make this team. You can definitely use him as kind of like a Deebo Samuel type of guy. So I definitely love what they are doing with Velus Jones Jr. And then obviously Kari Blasingame, really good locker room guy, and just that extra running back / fullback and special teamer on this roster. Now moving on to wide receivers. Once again, really excited about this group. I think the Bears will keep 5 wide receivers and DJ Moore, Keenan Allen, Rome Odunze, Tyler Scott, and DeAndre Carter. The only question mark I had in the wide receiver group is DeAndre Carter versus Dante Pettis. The reason why I decided to give DeAndre Carter the nod, because I feel like he is a better punt returner than Dante Pettis, and DeAndre Carter has more reps with Caleb Williams. Dante Pettis did look really good in these preseason games, but he was playing with the backups, with Austin Reed, Brett Rypien. He wasn't playing with Caleb Williams, right? So you can still try to possibly keep Dante Pettis maybe on the practice squad, and if DeAndre Carter goes down, at least you have Dante Pettis. But for right now, I am going to give DeAndre Carter the nod as the 5th and final receiver spot on the Chicago Bears roster. Now moving on to the tight ends, we have 3 solid tight ends in Cole Kmet, Gerald Everett, or Mercedes Lewis. I think each of them can offer something different. Really excited to see what Shane Waldron does with Cole Kmet and Gerald Everett especially. But there's also a couple other tight ends that the Chicago Bears can very well keep on the practice squad. The Bears can keep Tommy Sweeney, Stephen Carlson, and rookie Brendan Bates as well. They also looked really good in playing time as well this preseason for the Chicago Bears. But this is also a really loaded group. Really excited to see Cole Kmet, Gerald Everett, and Mercedes Lewis and see what Shane Waldron does within this Chicago Bears offense. Now moving on to probably the most important position group for the Chicago Bears, and that's the offensive line. I think the Bears will keep 10 offensive linemen with Braxton Jones, Tevin Jenkins, Ryan Bates, Nate Davis, Darnell Wright, Coleman Shelton, Jake Curran, Matt Pryor, Curran, and Bill Murray. I know a lot of people are going to say, hey, Keek, how about Larry Borum? I do think Larry Borum will either be cut or traded, but he's most likely to be cut, especially after suffering an injury in last night's win against the Kansas City Chiefs. And the reason why I gave Jake Curran the edge over Larry Borum, because of his experience with offensive coordinator Shane Waldron. Curran played 3 seasons in Seattle with Shane Waldron with 9 starts. So he has more familiarity with Shane Waldron offense. And I feel like that experience is going to be necessary, especially if someone goes down, which is very common with the Chicago Bears offensive line. I think this is a solid group, especially if guys like Tevin Jenkins and Nate Davis and even guys like Ryan Bates can stay healthy. If those guys can stay healthy, I can see the Chicago Bears offensive line being better than most people expect. But at this moment, I'm fine with this offensive line. If Ryan Poles can find maybe a hidden gem when cuts are made from other NFL organizations, then have at it. I think this could still be a unit that can be revamped or upgraded. But right now, I think this is a pretty solid group of offensive linemen for the Chicago Bears. Now moving on to the defensive side of the football for the Bears, starting off with the defensive line. I think the Chicago Bears are going to keep 8 defensive linemen, starting off with Montez Sweat, Javon Dexter, Andrew Billings, DeMarcus Walker, Zach Pickens, Austin Booker, Darrell Taylor, the guy that the Chicago Bears just traded for today from the Seattle Seahawks for a 2025 6th-round pick, and Daniel Hardy. Yes, Bears fans, I believe that Daniel Hardy should make this football team. He's only 25 years old, had a really good preseason, really pops off on the tape. He had 14 tackles with 3.5 sacks. Austin Booker also had an outstanding preseason for the Chicago Bears, had 2.5 sacks himself. Those are 2 young guys that can be really developed into something special for the Chicago Bears defense. I think this will be the year that Dominique Robinson gets cut. Maybe you can get Robinson on the practice squad, but Daniel Hardy and Austin Booker looked better than Dominique Robinson. And of course, with Ryan Poles trading for Darrell Taylor, another guy that's had 21.5 sacks in 3 seasons with the Seattle Seahawks, I think that means Dominique Robinson is the odd man out. But overall, this is a roster that maybe if someone gets cut, a hidden gem that Ryan Poles feels like that he can come in and play right away, maybe they add him to this group. But right now, I'm okay with Montez Sweat, Javon Dexter, Andrew Billings, and then just having Darrell Taylor, Austin Booker, and Daniel Hardy on the opposite side of Montez Sweat. Don't forget that DeMarcus Walker can actually push into the inside as well and be a dynamic and explosive and disruptive DN as well for the Chicago Bears defense. So moving on to the linebackers, Bears fans, I think they're going to keep 5 linebackers on the roster with Tremaine Edmonds, TJ Edwards, Jack Sanborn, Micah Baskerville, which I really loved how he looked during preseason, and Noah Sewell. Bears fans, I can't complain about this group. Tremaine Edmonds, really excited for him this year. TJ Edwards, he's a lock. He's nails for this Bears defense. And then, of course, Jack Sanborn, the hammer, right? I think we have a really underrated linebacker room in the National Football League, and I can't wait for these guys to enhance this Chicago Bears defense this season. Now moving on to, I feel like, our biggest strength on the roster, and that's the cornerbacks. I think the Chicago Bears will keep 7 of them this year on the roster, and that's with Jalen Johnson, Tyreek Stevenson, Kyler Gordon, Terrell Smith, Josh Blackwell, the special teams ace, Jalen Jones, also a good special teams guy, and Greg Stroman, a guy that I really liked over the last couple of seasons with the Chicago Bears. This is going to be one of the best secondaries in the National Football League. If our defensive line can do what they can do and get to the quarterback at a consistent level, that's going to make this secondary even more dangerous. This secondary is nails, led by Jalen Johnson. Kyler Gordon looked absolutely amazing during preseason. Tyreek Stevenson going into year 2, there's a lot of anticipation on him as well. Terrell Smith, great backup. Josh Blackwell, great backup and special teams ace. Jalen Jones is even a really good backup for the secondary. And even having Greg Stroman is very valuable for this Bears secondary as well. Now moving on to the safety room. I think the Bears keep 4 safeties on the roster with Kevin Byard, Daquan Brisker, Elijah Hicks, and Jonathan Owens. This was also pretty tough for me to come up who I felt was going to make on the roster at the safety position, especially when considering that you have guys that played really well, with Adrian Colbert looking well, especially in last night's win against the Kansas City Chiefs, and then Tarvarius Moore as well. Both had really nice camps and really nice preseasons for the Chicago Bears defense. But I think what it came down to was this: when Daquan Brisker went down earlier in camp, Elijah Hicks looked really good in filling in for Jaquan Brisker. I know he has some experience already, filling in for Jaquan Brisker when he got hurt last season as well. So I think that's what it came down to. Jonathan Owens looks the part. He's a hard-hitting safety. Looked good in coverage as well. And then Kevin Byard is Kevin Byard as well. So this is a solid safety room. Hopefully we can get Adrian Colbert and Tarvarius Moore on the practice squad, because I do like what they offer to the safety room in the Chicago Bears defense, and maybe even special teams as well. But right now, I feel like this is the best 4 safeties that Chicago Bears can choose to have on the roster. Then last but not least, we have the special teams with kicker Cairo Santos. Punter Torrey Taylor looked really good in a couple of preseason action that he had. I know there was actually a joke with Torrey Taylor going to the sideline on HBO Hard Knocks saying, well, you know, because I think Caleb Williams told him once he got drafted, like, hey, we're not going to need you to punt a lot. But he had to punt quite a bit when Caleb Williams was playing in his limited reps, and Torrey Taylor went on the sideline and said, hey, Caleb, I thought you said I wouldn't have to punt. So, you know, really happy to have him. And then, of course, long snapper Patrick Scales. So not much to say about that group. And that would put us at the 53-man roster. So Bears fans, how do you guys feel about my final 53-man roster projection for the Chicago Bears for the upcoming season? And this can very well change. Once again, once the final cuts come across the league, the Ryan Poles and the Chicago Bears are 9th on the waiver wire order. So I could definitely add maybe some hidden gems. So this roster, when they finally release it, is not going to be set in stone. But to me, it looks like a very good roster, an upgraded roster. It looks like a roster that will be able to compete not only NFC North, but maybe hopefully make a playoff push as well. But overall, I'm really excited. I think this team has a lot of expectations, and I think they will live up to those expectations as well. Once again, I did my final record prediction yesterday, so make sure you go check out that video as well. But I'm really set in stone that this team can possibly win 12 games, and the floor for them would probably be around 9. So I think at least 9 to 12 wins for the Bears this season is a realistic expectation. So Bears fans, let's get excited. I think Ryan Poles and the Chicago Bears did a really good job of finding the best players as possible. I think the coaches did a really good job this preseason as well. Everyone looked good. Everyone was playing hard for each other. And that's one of the reasons why the Bears went 4-0, right? Even in preseason. So I count that for them. So I'm really excited to see the final roster. I think this will be a really good roster if this is how it played out leading up to that week 1 matchup against the Tennessee Titans. But overall, now it's just a waiting game. I'm waiting for that week 1 matchup against the Titans. So overall, Bears fans, as always, make sure you continue to hit that subscribe button and the notification to catch all Bears content right here on the podcast. Make sure you follow me on all my social media platforms, and make sure you share this episode of Kick on the Mic with every single Bears fan that you know. But other than that, be back for all new Bears podcasts right here on Kick on the Mic. Thanks, guys, and as always, bear down.
You ain't bout it, you ain't bout it, you ain't kick on the mic. You ain't bout it, you ain't bout it, you ain't kick on the mic.